Portland, Oregon, with more curling fans than Westeros and Narnia combined. This is the Evergreen Curling Club Game of the Week. Hi, and welcome to the Evergreen Curling Club Game of the Week. My name is Sarah Maywalt, and with me...
Hi, my name is Pam Pfiffner.
Hi, Pam. Thank you so much for commenting with me, commentating with me, whatever, you know.
Commentating sounds about right.
You know, English is not my first language. My first language is just grunts and spitting.
Which is actually quite appropriate for curling, you know.
Absolutely. So how long have you been curling for?
Oh gosh, I would really be revealing too much about my age if I actually told you that. But,
okay.
I am come from 4 generations of curling from the Midwest.
All right. Well, that is 4 more generations than I've had. So with that, I think we're going to get right to the action. All right, today's matchup is between Team Tomlinson and Team Underhill. Team Tomlinson, the lead is Kathy Placek. I'll never get that right. The second is Barbara Feist. She's subbing today. The vice is Matt McVicar, which is a great name. And the skip is Allan Barber. Jeff Tomlinson, of the Tomlinson name, is not here this week because he's off gallivanting, is what I'm told. The other team is Team Underhill. The lead is George Middleton. The second is Eric Hanson. The vice is our president, El Presidente, Dave Bueermann. And the skip is Jason Hill.
It looks like, let's see, it looks like Barber must have won the toss because, well, maybe not. I can't tell.
Well, I think we'll tell in the moment when they actually put the hammer on the on the actual scoreboard over there.
Yeah, well, Jason was sliding out in that sort of sassy way that people do to show that they can actually slide, have good balance. So he fooled me there for a minute. I thought that, you know, he was throwing a rock, but he wasn't.
No, the skips have just got down to the end, and here are the first 4 rocks of the first end. I mean, pretty paint by numbers to start off with. A miss there, sadly, by Mr. Middleton.
No, what's really interesting is that people who are colorblind are having a very hard time seeing the green rocks against the blue circles. I have heard this many times in the past week, and so we have to kind of be, you know, seeing curling dogs or something like that to tell them where the rock has ended up.
Well, there's still the gray outline, and so I'm hoping that will be enough in order to do that. Good sweep on the back there by Mr. Barber. Just out. That's too bad. So there we go. Those are the first and the second of both teams, the lead and the second of both teams, and now we are into the final 4 rocks of each team, 4 and 1.
So now we have Matt McVicar. Delivering his stone.
Very graceful.
Very graceful, yes.
Yeah, I think...
Looks like he had a haircut. I haven't seen that do for a while.
I think we're just looking for a draw here behind.
A draw behind the guard. And good placement would be, it's a little too deep, actually. You want it above the tee line.
And now why do you want to be above the tee line?
Because you don't want to give the opposition anything that they can rest against. You're trying to protect the button.
Okay.
And so if something's behind the button, well, you can't protect it.
No, definitely. Oh, yeah. No, understood.
So that's the general idea, is that it's usually usually better to have it in front of the tee line for strategic purposes.
And this is the first rock for Underhill skip Dave Bueermann, who's also the Evergreen Curling Club president. He was just elected.
And I think
long may he reign.
I think he'll be a fine president. He's a upright, kind of guy.
Yes, he walks on two legs. As do most Homo sapiens.
Yep, kind of lanky actually too.
A lot of lanky people in curling.
So
it's tough for me to tell. I mean, I'm looking at Matt here. It's tough for me to tell if Matt's just that tall or if Barbara and Kathy are just that short.
Matt, he's a reasonably tall, but really Barbara's very short.
Yeah, Barbara's
really, really short.
Barbara's pretty short. But when you're like 5'14" like I am, everybody kind of looks short. This is another. They seem to got their. They don't quite have the draw weight down yet, but they are getting behind the guards pretty well.
Well, and that's it's hard to tell from this angle if which rock in the back 12 foot, the red and the green, which one is closer. From this angle, it's hard to see, but of course that will determine what the next shot for Team Tomlinson will be, as well as Team Underhill. So we'll see what they're trying to do with this one.
And here is Dave Bueermann's second rock, the second of the Vice rocks for Team Underhill.
It's got a lot of weight, so it's got to be that he was going for some kind of way of moving the rocks, but slides by. Well, he gets a little bit of a tick there, but
I think he moved the red back to definitely third, though.
That's correct.
That's the only problem.
Yep. And so now notice that Allan's going to be trying to put one up top. So probably he's going to try to hide behind the guards, I think.
So I asked both teams this week to give me some information about themselves and the team, and Allan says, his name is spelled Barber, but he swears that it's pronounced what's his name. So I'm just saying, if you meet him and you say Allan Barber, if he gets upset, I know it's strange, but Mr. What's his name is what he goes by.
Well, he is Canadian, eh? So you never know what they're doing up there.
Oh no, you have no idea, with their poutine and their bare naked ladies.
Labatt's.
That's crazy.
Yeah, or Kokanee, the Kokanee beer.
Oh, it's Molson, eh? Oh yeah.
All right, so this is looking.
So we're just. I mean, basically, those two guards are out there, and we're just dumping everything behind them.
Yeah, that's still a little bit too much. It looks like they're. Both teams are having trouble gauging the weight right now. They're all throwing a little bit heavy.
It's been. I mean, I am nobody's expert curler, but for me it's been difficult having to play on different sheets with different types of rocks. I spoke a lot about it last week, but these on the B sheet here, the middle sheet, are the K's of Scotland rocks, and our usual club rocks are on the A's and C sheets. And so I wonder how much that plays into it.
It should. I mean, the K's of Scotland rocks are considered more lively in that when they strike another rock, they have a little bit more action as a result. They curl a bit more. Our club rocks, they've been around for a long time, even at different curling clubs, by the way. And so they're just sort of a little worn down. They don't have as much glide, as much sass, if you will. They're not sassy rocks, actually.
They're not sassy.
Where these are, the K's of Scotland rocks.
They're very, very sassy. This is Jason Hill's first rock. Oh, he's missed that.
Yep. It's they're having those weight problems still.
Well, I mean, it is the first end. So.
It is the first end. But, it's often people don't really get their weight down until the second end or so. But, you know, Allan and Jason are really good. They should have it together by now. Sorry, guys.
Well, all I gotta say is that I've been watching a lot of international competition. I've been watching a lot of Olympic competition, and so many games in the first and sometimes even second or third ends, they just evolve into one rock in, hit that rock out, blank end.
That's right. Yeah.
And because they're getting used to the ice, which is, it's probably wise, but it's not very exciting.
No, but it is a good strategy because it's a long term. Not long term. It's a long run game, right?
Yeah. 8 ends here. A lot of times 10 ends in international competition. That's hours of play.
That's right. Now, each end is supposed to last about 15 minutes. So, an 8-end game should be 2 hours. Now, some of us don't play as fast as others, including me. So, sometimes you don't get in an entire 8 ends.
So right here, we're kind of, this is the last rock at the first end. Team Underhill they're in a bind here. They pretty much have to just draw the button and take one because green, yellow, whatever you want to call it, is sitting 4 now.
That's right. Yeah. And if they can take one, cut them down to 1, that's a good result.
Yeah, if you can. Yeah, if you're down by 4 in an end and you can get it so you're down by 1, that's not too bad. And it looks like that's what they've done here.
Yeah, he got it. It wasn't. It was a little nerve-wracking there. It was coming in kind of heavy, so it just caught the corner of that rock, but still caught it, and that's the key.
At the end of one end, we have Team Tomlinson 1, Team Underhill 0. It's a steal of 1 for Team Tomlinson.
And so now Underhill will still have the hammer in this one because Tomlinson scored. So that will be to their advantage, of course, to have the hammer in the second end.
Yeah, but you never want to lose any points to a steal.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here's the first 4 rocks of each side for the second end. Almost a guard, and because it was almost a guard, they take it out.
As long as it's in the house, they can take it out.
Now, if you want to learn more about the 5 rock rule, which is what's in effect right now, I'm hoping to have a video for you soon. But you can take a look. Just search it on the Googles until such time. Yeah, you gotta go on the tubes, the Google tubes.
The Google tubes. Yep. So nice hitting going on here. This is some teams prefer to play a hit game where they just keep taking rocks out, and that's clearly what they're doing on this end.
Oh, nice move there! Nice move, Matt. That's like a ballet dancer to get out of the way of that one.
Light on his slider.
Yes, absolutely. It's very important. And now to the final 4 rocks of the second end. Team Underhill still has the hammer, so this will be, again, Matt McVicar will be the vice that's going first.
That's correct. So Kathy's holding up her hand there to indicate that no sweeping is really necessary, that the weight's looking okay. It's actually looking a little fast from this angle, but...
Yeah, look at that thing curl, though.
Yeah, nice curl. And that's another example of really how these rocks have like a nice finish to them. The curl is coming in, and you see that it sort of, it sort of came right behind that guard. It had a nice finish. Ended up where it's supposed to, Sarah.
Hey, well, it's happened once or twice for me.
So,
our president, Dave, you can't say anything bad about Dave Bueermann because he's such a great guy, and not because he's the president and he could, rain down with us with fire and brimstone.
But I curl with him, so I'm not going to say anything about how nice a nice guy he really is. He's a nice guy.
No, he was my curling 101 teacher.
Yeah.
It's so nice that in curling.
That was a nice shot, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. We should have. I should have stopped talking.
So yeah, that was El Presidente's shot.
Yes,
so we were just praising him while the shot came in.
You have to
praise
him. You have to praise him.
Yep.
You have to praise him. It's in the bylaws. So Matt McVicar with his second shot. I think he's just going to try to follow it in here.
Which would be a smart move.
Oh, it's looking a little outside though.
But again, these rocks, look at how much it's coming over.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a little wide here, but it did come over quite a ways.
Yeah, but it is sticking out.
It's an easy takeout.
Well, easy for people who are experienced like Team Tomlinson and Team Underhill.
Yeah.
For Team Maywalt, this is a sticky situation.
But it's ice. How could it be sticky if it's ice?
Wonders never cease. Hey, I got a great idea. Let's make a sport where we have ice and then we put on Teflon and slide around it. Totally safe. Great idea. And let's put 42-pound rocks in there just for the heck of it.
And run around with brooms that you can whack each other with.
Absolutely. This is why I love winter sports, because they're always more dangerous. It's like shuffleboard meets hockey. That's a nice shot there.
Looking good.
That's a nice shot. And he pushed that right back. Yeah, nice. Great shot. Great shot there by Mr. Bueermann. It sounds like it shouldn't just be Bueermann. It should be Bueermann or something. I don't know.
Well, it's tricky, that name. It's got those two E's in there, and you wouldn't think that there'd be two E's in there.
Yeah, it's got a U-E-E. You rarely see that.
Yeah, it's an odd one, but he wears it well.
Yeah, that's true. And it's on the back of his shirt, so...
Well, that...
Literally.
Because sometimes I forget how to spell it, so...
And here's the skip for Team Underhill. Allan.
No, this is Allan This is Team Tomlinson.
Team Tomlinson, you're right. Oh my God.
But here's the thing. Allan and Jeff Tomlinson, they're about the same height, which is, they're super tall. So, it's sort of like having Jeff there,
Well, yeah, except Jeff does that full tuck.
Oh, he
which
does,
is
yeah.
Unbelievable. It's unreal.
They call it the Manitoba tuck.
Oh, yeah. Manitoba. That's where tucks happen.
All right, this is looking pretty good. Looks
yeah,
like he's
not bad.
Looks like he's gonna get it, and maybe, yeah.
Well,
right. Only one so far, but
not exactly. I don't think that's exactly what he wanted there.
No, I don't think so either. But now the pressure's on Jason to make sure that he gets that rock out. And it would be great if he could get both of them out, although the one in the... no, he doesn't need to. The one in the back isn't counting.
Yeah, the only problem here is he's got the two red rocks behind it that he can stick to.
Well, if he hits the right angle...
I mean, you can all... If you play the right shot,
right.
You're going to get it. You're going to get it. It's just that, it just makes the shot more... you have to make a more exact shot.
Right. Which is what we all strive for. And some of us do it better than others.
And, okay, so, I always love when the skips are sliding back.
I know.
That's my favorite part of curling so far, is the sliding around. That's why I wear the helmet. Because I know I'm going to kill myself doing it, and I'm just going to try to protect the few brain cells I have left.
Oddly enough, when I was a really young curler, I would just slide all over the place. The older I get, my balance isn't as good, so sliding up and down the ice, I totter a lot. I just kind of wobble when I'm doing it.
Now Jason Hill, interestingly enough, in 2013, he won the Dr. Cox from Scrubs lookalike contest. So, if you happen to see him, congratulate him. And that was a phone that is ringing in the room, and it is continuing to ring,
and
much to my chagrin.
Well, and this is late at night to be getting phone calls, and I guess I could just try to do something with it.
Oh, that's a nice shot there. Way to go.
Although Barbara does have a little sheet pointed out about it's the answer the phone fac. So, I should be able to just grab the phone and answer everybody's questions. But we're busy here. We're busy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Allan's got an interesting situation ahead of him. Because Underhill is sitting 3.
Yeah.
So he might be trying the double. He could do, I don't know, if maybe he's going to try the triple. I doubt it, but you never know. Allan's a pretty clever guy.
Yeah, I mean, when you start getting into this type of situation, it's, there are options, but they're just more difficult.
It looks like he's going to try for the double.
Yeah, that makes sense here.
And now, if he hits it nose on, it won't. He'll just push that top red one into the back red one, and that red one will still be there. It's not that he wouldn't be able to get rid of both of them with a straight nose hit. Right. So he has to hit the top one at a little bit off center in order to split both of them out.
Yep.
Now, he's a really good slider, talking about sliding. Allan he's got incredible balance.
It's so many of our our competitive curlers have they're so smooth in their delivery. They're so smooth just getting around on the slider. It's a sight to behold sometimes.
Yeah, they're very graceful.
Look at that. I mean, he can pretty much slide without even any help.
Yep.
And stand up, too.
All right, so it looks like...
Wow, that's a great shot. That is a great shot. And he kept the shooter in for shot.
Right. That was a very nice shot.
That is and got it behind the guards. That is a huge turnaround there.
And so you can see how he didn't, by hitting it at that just a little bit off center, he was able to ricochet the front shot into the back, split them both out.
So now Team Underhill has some work to do.
But now remember, if they can get the green one out, they'll be sitting 2, and they have the hammer, so that would be great.
No, absolutely, but they'll have to keep the shooter.
Yeah, they will.
The view from the center here like this is kind of nice, just because you can see how the other rocks can get in the way, and it's not just straight up and down. It's like an angle, so that you have to even worry about it if the shooter's left or right footed.
So now this is the hammer. So Jason, might be satisfied with just getting 1, but he needs to get something out. He doesn't want to give up 2 at this stage of the game.
Well, they're not sweeping it. Well, they're cleaning it a little, but it's difficult to tell. Well.
Oh, tough break.
Yep, and green steals another 1.
That's correct.
So at the end of 2 ends, we have Tomlinson 2, Underhill 0. And Underhill will be carrying the hammer into the third end.
You know, the hammer is just so strategic, but you know, the idea isn't to continue to win the hammer, because that means you're not scoring.
Okay, and here's the first 4 rocks of the first end. The first rock from green, that didn't make it over the hog line, so it was taken out of play.
Another deep rock.
Yeah, this is this isn't their best end so far. A lot of rocks, a lot of either way too short or way too deep. Well, there you go. We've got a good one there.
Now, it's interesting. The first end was going in the same direction, right? And they were all having trouble with their weight coming the same direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it might be, you know, the ice can run differently, you know, from end to end, from side to side, from sheet to sheet. Oh, that's another tough break.
Yeah. That's what I like to call a worst case Ontario right there. And now we're into the final 4 rocks of the third end. Team Underhill still has Team Tomlinson still has the honors here. Yeah, the team that loses in the end before gets the hammer, but the other team gets the honors, as far as I'm concerned.
That's pretty much it. There must be some other tool, you know. Oh, that sounded bad. There might be, you know, if you've got the hammer, the people without, there should be another tool, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be.
A
wrench?
Yeah,
a screwdriver?
Yeah, wrench, a screwdriver. I'm just trying not to say sickle, to be quite honest with you. That's the only thing that comes to mind, and I'm trying not to say it, but then I did. Da, comrade, we come for quarreling. And where is Moose and Squirrel? Okay, now that I've offended everybody who of a Russian background, I apologize.
Okay, my favorite pun from Rocky and Bullwinkle was, "Don't make it worse, it's bad enough."
That's good. I like that. I missed that one. And here's Dave Bueermann with his first shot. Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to get it in there and sit on the sit in front of that green in the at the 4-foot.
Right. I think he wants to not lay against it.
Look at that.
Boy, that curled a lot.
Wow, that is great. That is yes. Now, are these K's of Scotland rocks? Do you know if they're Olympic spec?
They are indeed. Now, we of course don't have these sensor handles. But these are the same kind of rocks that are used in the Olympics in all top line competition.
So is that the type that we've ordered as well?
It is the type that we've ordered. We're supposed to be getting the new ones in after the first of the year. How deep into the year, I am not sure.
Well, when you say after the first of the year, that doesn't even necessarily mean the same year. Between the first of the year and infinity, the end of time.
This is true. You know, which is a very clever way of covering all your bases, I think.
Oh, this one's looking pretty good here. Oh, well, it curled a little more than they wanted to at the very end. And
it looks from this angle that red's shot, but
that's really tough because the fisheye lens is not quite on the what would you call that? Like the bullseye there, I guess. The button, the actual the crosshairs.
Right.
Like even more than the button, just
it's a little distorted. You know, and that's why sometimes when we show new curlers, you know, scoring, and if rocks are very, very close that almost look like a tie, they often think, well, can't you just go in and look at it from above with the video? And the answer would be no, for that very same purpose.
Okay.
Or reason, I should say. Okay.
Well,
that's nice.
Well, that clears up which one is shot. It does not matter anymore. There are 2 red rocks. One of them is shot, and honestly, doesn't matter which one. Well, actually, I guess it does matter to Tomlinson, Team Tomlinson at this point. But it actually looks like the one at the very back of the forefoot is the shot rock still.
He'll definitely be going for the double here, because if he can get both of them out, then he's sitting 3. Nice job of making sure the rock is clean and the path in front of the rock is clean.
It's very important to keep the path in front of the rock clean.
Yes, it is. Because rocks can pick up all kinds of bits of debris which can alter its course as it goes down the ice.
This one's looking pretty good. This one's looking really nice.
Yeah. Oh, not quite the double, but a fine shot nonetheless. He didn't get shot rock out of it, though, of course.
Well, that is true. They have a lot of shots. They have a lot of rocks in the house now, and not much in front. There isn't much clogging. There isn't much protecting that red rock in the middle.
No, so he's going to try to put one in front of that. But again, usually the higher it is in the house, the better it is. Because at this stage of the game, because if it's too close, it's easier to get both of them.
Right. So here's Jason Hill's first rock. I know I've said it before, but it's just amazing how flexible some of these curlers are. Not a day in my life have I ever been that flexible.
It's a little too deep.
Yeah.
And so now in this situation, of course, green can just come up and bump right into it and be either rock, actually, and still be shot.
And is he going to try to take them both out?
I don't know. I think not. But I could be wrong.
I mean, it looks like
I think he's just going to use them as backing and try to nudge it back just a little bit. Because then one of the reasons why you would do that, and someone out there in ECCville will probably correct me on this, but you that provides a backing so that if green comes down and rests against those red ones, then it makes it more difficult for red to come down and knock the green one out because it would slam into the rocks behind it.
No, right. I was just sort of looking at the where they set the broom.
The broom, yeah.
Because that was not a draw weight.
No. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I misread that one, but that's okay.
Well, it's hard what I've learned in editing these videos and commenting on them is it's always hard to tell what these skips want to do because they're not communicating it to the other end because they are the other end. That's the problem. It's just like, okay, I've decided what I want. I told you with my mouth and I don't actually do anything. And the microphone picks it up great. If not, well, we at home just get to guess.
But now it's also interesting in what I was looking at with that last shot, and we'll let Jason throw his shot here before I continue that thought.
This is the last shot of N3.
Big weight, really big weight. But I don't think he's going to get it. Oh, maybe he did. That's bad luck for Jason.
Yeah, he went from sitting one to
giving them two.
Letting
Tomlinson steal two.
And after the third end, we have Tomlinson 4 stealing all 4 points, and Underhill still at 0.
Still looking for that first end to turn around the game.
Hi, this is Sarah, cutting in from a little bit later to give you the highlights of N4 and N5. We'll start with N4. First, a guard. Then another guard. Then a third guard. And I think you're going to start to notice a trend here. It's almost as if there's a Lagrange point out in front of the house sucking in all of the rocks. And if you want to know what I studied in college, look up the term Lagrange point. Now this is a highlight. Team Tomlinson acting skip Allan Barber. Wait for it. And that's a nice double takeout right there. And another highlight for Allan. And another double takeout. Now Team Underhill had the hammer and was able to draw for 1 in N4, leaving the total 4-1 Team Tomlinson. Now there's the highlights from N5, and this is Matt McVicar. And that is a nice clean shot. And that's about everything that happened in N5. The last rock sails through, and N5 ends up a blank end. So after 5, the score is still 4-1. And now back to Pam with the rest of our commentary. Okay, so here's the first 4 of the 6th end. Team Tomlinson has the hammer this end. Oh, that was so close. Nice peel there. Take out. Is it really a peel if it's in the house?
And peels are generally in front of the house.
So it's, yeah, okay. So take out, but you can still throw peel weight at stuff.
Yes, you can. Yes. Generally, there's different terms, but you can say yes, throw peel weight.
I gotta just say, George's suspenders are absolutely majestic.
They really are. Are they the Batman ones, or?
I don't think this time. Now we're here at the final 4 of the 6th end. The Vice and the Skip rocks, and Team Underhill will be with honors.
Sitting 1 with it's a tight guard, but definitely guarded. Looking to come behind the guard is the shot rock is what it looks like to me.
And Dave Bueermann with his first rock. George wears a helmet, and I wear a helmet as well. But George wears it because he's getting a little bit older and losing his balance, and I wear it just because I'm bad at curling.
George has also had some concussions in the past.
Oh my!
Too. So he's really he's erring on the side of caution. Let's put it that way.
Well, I wasn't making fun of him for that.
Oh gosh, no, I know.
He when I sent out an email to both teams getting ready for this, and Jason joked that he curls in every single league, sometimes twice, which makes it really weird when he has to play himself. But no, I see him here all the time.
Right. Well, okay.
That's not quite a double, but say one of them left, and it's opened up the middle a little.
Right.
Well, the middle was open, but I mean it spread them apart, I guess.
And what they often say is that you want to move rocks around, not keep them in the same position. So it certainly did that, was to move the rocks around into different positions.
You know, one thing I like, you know, it's to me, it's always great to see somebody who is, you know, has a few years on him that still has that sort of childlike sort of quality to him, and that's what George strikes me as.
Do you know that George got married in the curling club?
Which curling club?
This one. I don't know if you know Mary Bure, but that's his wife.
Yes.
And they got married here in the club. It was really quite fun.
Well, Mary was my instructor at my Learn to Curl.
Well, there you go. And, you know, I was curling at the time, and I would go, wait, and I'd run off the ice and go into the warm room, and, you know, I think I actually saw the actual exchange.
Wow, really? So there was curling going on at the time of the wedding?
Exactly, yes. And
of course there was.
And they had curled, actually, I think before then, or maybe they curled after it, I can't remember, but they had curled that day as well.
Well, they got rid of that. They got rid of that red in the front, but I can't imagine that's what they wanted to end up with.
I wouldn't think so. Because the back red is pretty well guarded right now.
Yeah, it just sort of made it like a super guard out there.
Mm-hmm.
And worse yet, it's still the one on the outside.
That's right. And so that would be not difficult, of course, but they could tap that green one further back into the house, but of course it's very close to that red one. So then the likelihood of them bumping into that red one right next to it would be pretty high. It makes that shot not a good choice. Well, at least for me.
Well,
yeah,
listen, there are so many shots that would be fantastic that I can't do. So you know, I just sort of watch in awe. That's it.
Well, another thing that we find when people come in to learn how to curl is they've watched it on the Olympics and they think that it looks easy.
Yes.
And then they come out here and go, it's a little bit harder than I thought.
Now, I have to say, I did not think it was going to be easy, but I was still was a bit taken off guard by how difficult it is.
It is. And, you know, sometimes I teach these, some gentlemen who are good at all sports, and they get very discouraged if they're not immediately good at this one. And I'm not saying that women don't do that, but my experience has tended to be with sort of jocks who then get very frustrated because they can't immediately hit the button.
And here is Jason Hill's first shot.
And I think Dave is indicating that it's not on line.
Yeah, he needs it to curl, but
it's not going to curl that much, I don't think. And I noticed that when Jason...
Ooh, is that going to stay?
No.
Now, that's a nice sweep there at the back by Matt.
Well, I noticed that right after Jason released that stone, I saw him looking up and talking to George. So clearly something had perhaps transpired that Jason wanted to communicate something to George. Maybe that he knew it was very heavy, maybe he knew that he was outside, something like that.
Yeah, so now Team Tomlinson, I think they're looking for they're looking to try to squeeze out a steal here, because at 4-1 the game's getting old. Time's running out.
And what I think, it looks like he's going to try to hit his green one into that red one, knock it out, and make sure that his green one is in scoring position.
I made an error. He's trying to keep it's the Underhill. Oh my God. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna shut up for a moment.
Sometimes in curling, if you got a broom and they all look alike, right? It's like you can't say the guy with the broom.
Yeah, no, you can't say the guy with the broom.
No.
You can't say the guy with the broom, but you could say the team with the actual 2 women on it. That actually is a kind of a dead giveaway this time.
That could be.
And colors. Like, I'm not colorblind, yet still, red and green. It's not for some reason.
Yeah, so that's what he's doing. Got a piece of the green. Bonk, bonk.
Okay, he's not sitting shot, and he does not have a shot left, so, no, does he have a shot left?
What end are we in?
Hold
6?
on. Yes, hold on.
Yeah, he does have hammer.
He does have a
He has
should
hammer.
have a shot left. So, but he still left that red, he still left that Underhill rock a little bit covered, so.
You can get to it's definitely there. You can see it. You can see a piece of it.
Well, and not only that, but with these K's rocks, it's a lot, you can get behind that. There's enough room between the guard and the rock, but.
Jason's making sure he's lined up. Did
Does
a
that-
little work there with it. Showed his arm getting in line with the broom.
It's his laser vision.
Mm-hmm. So he did it again. He looked up and talked to George. Looked up at George to say something, or who knows? Flinch. He could have flinched.
I hear you get 2 for that.
I think you do. Dave's coming out to help sweep.
Really, honestly, once you get to the third person sweeping,
Yes.
you're pretty much just, that doesn't help much.
No, and in fact, another strategy or truism in curling is that skips often think they need to run out and help sweep, when really a skip is better off staying in the house to watch what's happening, because by the time the skip gets out there to sweep as the third person, it's not really helping all that much.
Okay, so here is the last rock of the end. Allan Barber, what's his name? Will be trying to. I think he's just going to be trying to get his 1 out of this one.
You could just call him not Tomlinson.
No, well, he certainly isn't.
We know what Jeff looks like when he's delivering a stone.
Yeah, that. Oh my God, full on. It's a thing of beauty. He's 62 years old.
I know.
And I only know that because he sent me the longest email of his whole life history.
He's a very accomplished curler.
Absolutely.
Ooh, missed that.
Oh.
So, looks like Red got 1. Underhill has got another point.
So Underhill is looking like it's making a little bit of a comeback here. Still, time is short.
So that means that Team Tomlinson retains the hammer, which means that Underhill stole 1.
So here is the first 4 of the second end. That's Dave Bueermann of the 7th end. Excuse me. That's Dave Bueermann first off there trying to use Scottish voodoo to stop the rock. Doesn't work, Dave, if you don't have a kilt. That's the way it works. I'm sorry. Oh, just passing it by.
Yep.
Sightseeing.
And there it is, in for 2. Oh!
This one, that's okay. So we're we're heading down towards the away end again, and all of a sudden, all of the weights are, people just don't have it locked in on that side.
No.
N7. This is the final 4 rocks of each team.
So it looks like Jason's seeing a little light at the end of the tunnel here. I mean, he's scored 2 now. So, and now this rock looks like it's in pretty good position. If he can guard it up, who knows? Maybe they'll be making a little bit of a comeback here.
The problem is that even if you let Team Tomlinson have 1 and get the hammer back, you're down by 3 with 1 end remaining, and that's just a tall order.
That is a tall order,
even with the hammer.
But I have seen it. Maybe not so much in super competitive curling, but certainly at Evergreen Curling Club, I have seen miraculous comebacks in the 8th end.
I have yet to see an 8th end in any of my games. Very slow at curling.
But that's like I say, this 8 ends in 2 hours is, it's kind of a suggestion for us. Although there's, the club as a whole is trying to get much faster in terms of its curling, so you can get a full 8 ends in.
Well, I guess he cleared it out, but I don't know. I think he was hoping for a little bit better roll there or something.
I think so. Because that green one that was hanging on along the side is now gone.
Yeah, and the shot rocks is a couple inches outside the house itself, so there's no green left in the house at all. Really going at that.
Got a curl though.
Yeah.
No.
Not quite. I mean, I'll give it a little bit. I mean, if you make a bad shot, it's in play. But the guard's there to keep you honest, but there's enough of it to get to see it for a takeout. No doubt.
Looks like what he's doing though is he's thinking a bit more strategically, which is to get rid of that guard in front to open up the house, to make it easier to get that one. And then also they have the hammer, I think.
Yeah, they have the hammer.
To leave it open for Tomlinson to score with the hammer.
Yeah, if they like I said, if they even score 1, it's really hard to see how Underhill will get 3 in the last end.
So Dave getting there, putting down the broom for, Jason's showing Dave where to put down the broom. There we go. Again, he's looking for a guard up top.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see the president of the club not be the skip. That's all. Like it seems like that would have to be the case in every league that he would play, but obviously not. It's a very polite sport.
It is. It's very egalitarian, you know. Some days you're the skip, and some days you're the lead.
Jason Hill's got a little fishtail.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem to really affect his accuracy too much, but
No.
It's
He's
kind
got
of funny to see.
Yeah, and he's got a tuck as well. He does the toe tuck delivery. And I've often wondered, and I'm sure somebody out there in ECC land knows this, But if tuck deliveries are a little bit harder to keep your back leg more in line, if it's more prone to a fishtail, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting thought, but someone will know. And I'm sure,
I hope someone will know.
well, and I'm sure the next time they see me, they will make a point of telling me.
Well, that's okay. I mean, you can always just say that you recorded this right after, a full 8-end game, or 6-end or 7-end, or however many you were able to get through. However many.
We did 7. We were going to go for 8, and the opposing team said they had too much homework to do.
Oh, homework. Were you playing the juniors?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw them out there, and I've heard things.
But the junior program here. This looks like a wham bam.
Oh yeah, that looks nice.
Bonk.
Oh.
But it's shot. It's actually a good shot.
Yeah, well, it is a good shot. I think he was, I'm sure he was hoping to get them both off.
But actually, the result, I think, is actually a little bit better here because, again, if red came down on top of that green one, tried to remove it, it could jam onto the red one and back, which means that then green would potentially still be shot.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Little thinking going on. Usually you can tell when you've done a good shot if the other team has to think a lot about what the next shot should be.
Oh, definitely. And I've played games myself where, there's a lot of conversation going on, and it's just like, let's just pick the shot that I'm going to miss. Just pick a shot, I'm going to miss it, let's just get this over. Now, I'm very slow when I get into hack because I'm still thinking about, trying to remain, keep my balance and stuff like that. That's why I'm slow at curling. It's simply just sitting there in the hack trying to remember everything I'm supposed to remember and then not doing any of it. But, you gotta try.
Well, there is a lot to think about in terms of a delivery. There's just when you think you've got one little part of it, oh, wait, I'm supposed to turn it. Oh, wait, I gotta let it go. Oh.
I think he's just going to try to tap it back.
I think that's what he's looking for.
And keep it behind, keep the green behind him. Oh, I think it's curling too much.
Yeah, it's curling too much, definitely.
Oh, green remains shot.
He's kind of put himself in an even worse position, I think.
Well, what we're looking at here is this is the last shot of the end, and it's basically a draw for 2. I mean, he can run into his own rock a little bit, but it's not the easiest of shots. At least this is going to have to be a precise shot.
Looks like they're already done on sheet A.
Yeah, if you looked at the scoreboard down there, it was pretty epic.
Ah, okay. Some games are like that.
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. This game's been pretty close. This one's pretty well fought between the two.
Oh, it looks like he's got this.
Oh, what a shot. That is just very nice.
Ooh, right on the button.
And that is 2 for Tomlinson. And going into end 8, it is now 6 for Tomlinson to 2 for Underhill. Okay, as we're about to get ready for end 8, so let's get into the first 4 for end 8. Now that first rock, he just called it to go through.
That's correct.
Now,
Yeah.
why would he want to do that?
Because he doesn't want to give them anything that they can use, anything that they could hide behind, anything that they could hit and stick. It's generally like, okay, so you can't use our stones to do anything. It's all on you.
Right.
And maybe you throw it through, like, throw it a little bit too heavy.
Yeah, at this point, it's they need to end the game. They need to end this end with at least 4 rocks in the house.
Now that was appeal.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, again, you don't want to give them anything to hide behind.
Right, so you take your own out as well.
That's right. Some people are really good at peels too, by the way. It's a very, to do it properly is a shot that takes a little bit of practice.
And here's the final 4 rocks of each team for this end. The final 4 rocks, probably, of the game. One thing I've noticed in international, or professional competition is that there's a lot of with the 5 rock rule, previously the 4 rock rule. There's a lot of really great front ends, really great leads who were able to just bump things around. So it's not a takeout, but it ruins it. It ruins their
Yeah,
cards.
it moves the rock out of position, but as long as it doesn't actually leave the playing area, as in a full takeout, it's perfect. You're moving the rocks around. So it's perfectly legal.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do all kinds of crazy things with it once it's moved around. Usually done to clear a path to the house. That green rock is pretty nicely guarded.
So Matt's rock was just clearing away another red rock, trying to keep them. Basically is when they only have when they only have 3 rocks that they could possibly get in the house. There's nothing that they can do.
Yeah, and then they'll concede usually. That's a nice rock.
It's a pretty good rock, but I think they were hoping to get it behind the guard a little better.
Yeah, and really, they're just running out of rocks. There's just really not much they can do.
We just gotta hope for a miss. Maybe a few misses, to be quite honest at this point.
Or maybe kicking it back in the rings, stopping it before it goes through.
Maybe calling in me as a sub. Maybe that'll make up for the other team. That might help. That might help.
But sometimes it's I know that we play it out until there's no more possibility of a win. But sometimes in other sports games, it's the 4th quarter. There's like 2 minutes left. They're down 21 points. And yes, it's a good show that they should try to win, but come on, can't they just stop the game?
I think the worst is the NBA.
Oh,
because,
that's true. Yeah.
Oh, we're down by 8 with 50 seconds remaining. Let's foul them, and then foul them again, and then foul them. Oh my God, oh man.
All right, this is looking heavy from this point of view, but then again, it's not. It is, yeah. Stays in the house, but way far back.
Yeah. Still, a dim light shines on Team Underhill. I imagine they called it Underhill because they don't want to be over the hill, but but the problem with that is if you're under the hill, that usually means that there's a monument to your life on top of that hill.
Could be.
I don't know if I want to. I'd rather be over the hill than under it.
Yeah. So he wants to get rid of that red one, and I think once he does that, it's all she wrote, because then there'd only be 2 rocks left.
Yeah, and only possible.
Actually, maybe only 1 rock left. I wasn't keeping good tally here.
Well, the Underhill has hammer, because, they.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So there is 2 rocks for Underhill now. But if there was only 1 rock, they probably would have shook hands already.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, no, you'd want to get down to where there's only 2 rocks left, because 3 there's a potential for a tie.
Well, no, because they're down by 4.
Oh. This is why you're good at math and I am not.
I gave you a cheat sheet. It's right here. It says everything.
I know, I'm not.
That's okay.
It's over there, and I'm sitting over here.
Yeah,
so.
you have been such a great sport today, and thank you so much for helping me out.
Oh, it's actually fun to do. I just keep thinking of certain people who will say, "No, Pam, you had that wrong," because we're kind of that place. Oh,
and
nice shot.
There it is, and that is the game.
That's all she wrote. Yep.
Team Tomlinson defeats Team Underhill 6-2. They don't actually count any of the rocks in that last end after the concession. That's kind of weird. Most a lot of sports they still will do that, and they're gonna come down, shake hands, appease the ravenous spirit of curling, and then go in and get warm and get some alcohol.
Well, the real spirit of curling is living in the warm room near the bar. That's really where the spirit of curling hangs out.
Absolutely. Well, this was another. It was great having you here, Pam. Thank you so much for lending your experience and your expertise to this, relatively modest.
Well, I'm impressed as heck that you're doing this. So, it's really, hats off to you for taking the initiative for doing this, and it's been a lot of fun to do this. I just wonder, did I offend anybody? Do you think? I hope not.
Well, I'll listen to it, and if you did, I'll make sure I make it a little bit louder, so that everyone knows exactly what you said.
And then the next time I come into the club, a bunch of people won't talk to me. That would be really good.
And so we're finishing up here with. I personally love this tradition. Just the winners having to clean the ice. The losers, they've already had enough. It's good. It's good. You should have a little bit of punishment for your victory.
But when you think about it, it's pretty interesting that the victor has to clean the ice and has to buy the drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's maybe give you a good reason for not winning, really, when you think about it.
So, for Evergreen Curling Club, my name is Sarah Maywalt, and with me,
I'm Pam Pfiffner.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next week.